With yesterday's bear market now in the past, moon boys across the globe are dusting themselves off and preparing for the pump to trump all pumps in just a matter of days. And are altcoins absolutely banged? Well, this one piece of information is actually telling us altcoins might actually pump very soon. But is there actually something much bigger happening behind the scenes? Something so big, you might not even want to know how big it is. So if you realize that something big is coming, hit that like and subscribe. And without any further ado, let's pump on in. As we can see, the price of Bitcoin after yesterday's massively dumpy candle has actually recovered a decent amount of that. I mean, in fact, after yesterday's giga dump, we actually ended the day green, literally by the tip of our toes, barely green, but it was green, all the way down to about $89,000 per coin and closing back above, unbelievably, $94,000 per coin. So was the fake out just a massive shakeout? Was it designed to part moon boys from their crypto? And are in fact we headed much higher over the next, honestly, just couple of days? That's something I want to talk about. And specifically as well, I actually do want to talk about altcoins. I have not really covered altcoins in much depth at all over the past 1 to 2 weeks. But I think for everybody watching that is holding the heavy bags, those insanely heavy, very dumpy altcoin bags, I think this video might be something that you enjoy actually, because I'm going to be talking very briefly about that, because a lot of people hold altcoins and a lot of people have been completely and utterly banged and dumped on, battered and bruised, never to recover again. But what if I told you that you actually might recover and recover big time? So yeah, let's talk about that. But one of the first things we see, Italy's largest bank has started buying Bitcoin, according to leaked internal emails, which celebrate the first transaction of about €1 million, or about 11 Bitcoin. Guys, this isn't big just because it's one thing, but this is something we are seeing pretty much day after day. A new company, a new bank, something globally that are starting to buy Bitcoin. And this is only just the beginning. There are going to be days, this is a prediction that I'm going to make right now. There are going to be days in this bull market, in the year 2025, there are going to be days where we see multiple nations potentially in one single day, or at least in one single week, probably, potentially many nations in a single week start talking about their own strategic reserves. It is a necessity. People don't realize it yet. Countries don't realize it fully yet. Some actually do realize it, but it is going to be a necessity. And once that happens, I mean, it's game theory in action. I think it's going to be banana mode times infinity times double banana mode. I think it's going to be absolutely triple banana mode even. We see, for example, publicly listed AI company Genius Group to raise about $33 million to buy more Bitcoin in their treasury. This is just news today. This is already happening. These are not things that I'm just making up, that I'm predicting, oh, maybe in the future these companies and nations might start and banks might start buying Bitcoin. No, it's happening right now. And if you really zoom out and kind of look at everything going on week by week by week, it becomes very clear what is happening. And in just less than 1 week, we are having the most influential country on the planet, the United States, implementing, from all accounts, actually, over the last 24 hours, even, we've heard that it's possible. We hear about these new crypto executive orders and crypto rules taking effect on day one. Say that happens in just the next few days, the most influential country on the planet creating a Bitcoin strategic reserve to gobble up 1 million Bitcoin over the next 5 years. Oh man, I mean, as I've been saying, and I've been saying this for a long time, and a lot of people understand and they agree, nobody's bullish enough. And I think the reality of that simple statement, that nobody is bullish enough, is going to schlap some people up left and right. They are just going to be covered in their own regret and their own mistakes once we actually see how big things get. Because what is something that is universally, like, or objectively apparent over the past couple of weeks is that, well, if we take a look at the price of Bitcoin over the last few weeks, we've just been holding above 90K, and sentiment was just disgustingly bad. In fact, I actually saw a call for 10,000 Bitcoin again yesterday. Can you believe this? There was somebody, I wouldn't say a sane person, but there was a human being and I use that term loosely, a human being calling for $10,000 again yesterday because we dipped our tip below 90K for literally microseconds, and they feel safe coming out with the most brain dead bearish predictions again. Are you kidding me? Get a grip on yourself, you absolute bonehead. Are you kidding me? If the shoe fits, then that's anyway. Yeah, people getting giga bearish, sentiment being disgusting over the past couple of days, but also a couple of weeks. And meanwhile, let's take a look at what this chart looks like. And this is what the chart looks like. And people are creaming their jorts at this. People losing their minds, becoming so bearish, calling for a 10K Bitcoin. Keep in mind, let me show you where 10K Bitcoin is, by the way. Right here. Right here. Do you want me to zoom in? Look at this. Right here. Unbelievable. These people need to be put in a psych ward. Are you kidding me? How divorced from reality can you be? So anyway, that's pretty big. We also see that the Japanese yen, the third largest currency in the world, is almost back to where it was last summer. All of the Bank of Japan interventions did literally nothing. They didn't do anything. And so with that, it's only a matter of time until they embrace Bitcoin. And Japan has shown interest actually over the past few months in the same thing. A lot of countries that many people would have speculated never would be showing interest in Bitcoin, a lot of them have shown interest in the last couple of months. And all I'm telling you is that when things get bananas, they're going to get extremely banana mode. That's all I'm saying. And I want you to remember that. I want you to take notes. I want you to write that down. I want you to clip it. And I want you to play it back for me in 6 months. Things are about to go completely banana modes. Completely banana mode. We also see that Trump inauguration will feature the first ever crypto ball in DC. Guys, these people are serious about crypto. What, like a big crypto ball like on New Year's Eve when they have like the big ball with confetti and they drop it on everyone, right? Are we going to get live footage of that? That's going to be crazy. I'm going to go absolutely balls to the wall. I'm going to go nuts. I'm going to spike my juice. I'm going to celebrate a little bit if we see some live footage of that. We have inaugural crypto ball hosted by David Sachs, Trump's newly appointed AI and crypto czar, at the Andrew W. Mellon Auditorium on January 17th, just 3 days from now. This exclusive event is major sponsors from Coinbase, MicroStrategy, Galaxy Digital are backing the event, signaling a shift towards, if it's not apparent to you right now, they are doubling and tripling and quadrupling down on crypto, by the way. There were people saying, oh, Trump is just saying some pro-crypto stuff trying to get elected. Maybe that was possible, but if you've seen over the last month, 2 months, since he got the nomination, since he became the president-elect, not only have they're not shying away from crypto, they're doubling, tripling, quadrupling down. They're making it very obvious. Every time it gets brought up, they're making it very obvious that they are very serious about cryptocurrency regulation being positive and not trying to destroy the industry, trying to become the world leader in cryptocurrency. And it's not just words. Every single person so far that has been nominated from all of Trump's picks are extremely pro-crypto people. Okay? These are people that are the most pro-crypto people you could be putting into these positions. So the writing is on the wall, and it's up to you to decipher it. It's up to you to come to your own conclusion. But I've come to a conclusion, and my conclusion is that I'm not even 1% as bullish as I should be. I should be much more bullish, to be honest. If I'm being quite honest with myself. Jamie Dimon, Bitcoin has no intrinsic value and is heavily used by sex traffickers, he says. Meanwhile, Jamie Dimon's JP Morgan Chase processed over $1 billion for Jeffrey Epstein and also paid over $350 million to Epstein victims who say the bank enabled his trafficking ring. Okay, are you kidding me? This guy calling crypto... these people are projecting. If you don't know what psychological projection is, look it up. It is when people accuse or attack people for something that they're not guilty of, but in fact, the person accusing the person of those things is the actual guilty party. I can give you a really good example of this. Let's say that I loved anime girls, right? But I was embarrassed that I liked anime girls. And what if, to make fun of some of my friends, I would say things like, hey, well, you like anime girls as like a derogatory thing, right? You like anime girls. You must really get turned on by anime girls. Why do you have a big anime girl pillow that you sleep with every night? if I was doing all that and none of it was true and I was just saying all those things, but deep down, I actually loved anime girls, but I was trying to project it onto other people, that's an example. We demonize and we throw a lot of hatred towards things, and it might not be clear at first why we're doing that, but really the reason that you're projecting that on someone else is because deep down, you know that you love anime girls. And that's exactly what Jamie Dimon is doing. He's accusing Bitcoin of being this sex trafficking thing and guilty of all these crimes. Meanwhile, JP Morgan and Jamie Dimon have quite literally paid billions of dollars to victims and actually supporting actual abuse and doing all these bad things that they're accusing other people of doing. But they're the ones that actually do these bad things. For example, they got bailed out in the 2008 global financial crisis, printed money out of thin air, laundered money for drugs, drug cartels, and banked Jeffrey Epstein. And these are the same people that are saying Bitcoin has no value when they're the ones committing all these crimes, right? Jamie Dimon once again claims Bitcoin is only good for criminal activities, but let's not forget that Jeffrey Epstein's bank of choice was JP Morgan, which processed over $1 billion for him. They basically single-handedly enabled all of the illegal things that he did. And we're supposed to take anything he says about Bitcoin seriously? It's crazy, man. That's just how the world works. The people that accuse people of doing these things without any evidence are typically the ones that are actually doing those bad things. It's just the way things work. We also see JP Morgan predicts that Solana and XRP ETFs could attract $3 to $8 billion in new investments if approved, with SEC decisions expected by late January. So with everything I just said, they are guilty of a lot of these negative things. However, we also have to understand and accept that they are still heavily influential in traditional markets. And basically, when we hear them say something negative about crypto, the only thing we should be assuming is they're lying to us, meaning they're trying to bring the price down so they can get more of it, right? And that's actually something we've been seeing over the last couple of years anyway. Actually, this top comment here is good. The same guy that called Bitcoin a Ponzi, meaning Jamie Dimon, yeah, of course, right? These people are going to be benefiting from Solana XRP ETFs if they get approved, right? They're going to find a way to make money from it. And the whole time that they're doing that, they're going to be lying to you and telling you that they have no value. That's just how it works. They're going to make billions of dollars off of these ETFs. And that's another thing I want to highlight, actually, is that I do believe that other crypto ETFs are going to be coming, probably even in 2025. Solana, XRP, Cardano, maybe Ethereum. I think a lot of these ETFs are going to be happening. And I think billions of dollars are going to be flowing into these cryptocurrencies once their ETFs are also approved. Because keep in mind, this incoming administration is not just pro-Bitcoin. They're pro-crypto pretty across the board. It's not really a Bitcoin maximalist administration. It's more so pro-crypto, pro-freedom, pro-less regulation is what we're seeing. So I do believe that altcoins are getting banged right now. But I think that there's some really bullish catalysts coming for altcoins, but more specifically, altcoin sentiment is horrible, and altcoin sentiment is always horrible before the real alt season. Okay, this is not new. Altcoin sentiment, Ethereum has done awful the past 2 years, and that's not anything new. Before altcoins actually really start blowing people away and having explosive gains, people think they're done for. They think they're dead. And all I'm saying is a lot of people are focused on Bitcoin right now, me specifically as well, because we have the Bitcoin spot ETFs and a strategic reserve likely in just a couple of days, and all of these really bullish things for Bitcoin. Bitcoin absolutely is the play right now. And people are losing faith in altcoins. And all I'm saying is that is exactly what needs to happen before altcoins actually do really well. So when I look around and see people crying and squealing because altcoins are getting destroyed, that actually makes me more bullish on altcoins. And sometimes literally just being contrarian to the crowd is like the best play. Not every time, but sometimes. According to history, we will see new Bitcoin all-time highs in February, according to Mr. Crypto on X. Very likely. I mean, I personally think we could even see it before February, before the end of January. If the strategic reserve fully goes in effect, within the next week, we could see some insane price action. I mean, actually, before we continue with that, I mean, how far away is Bitcoin right now from all-time highs? About a 15% pump. We could see that pump in 3 days. We could see that kind of pump in 2 days. We could see that pump in 1 day if a strategic reserve is announced in 1 day, right? And we also see so much panic, but this is the current cycle with 2017 overlaid, meaning with all of the panic, all the fear, Still, this cycle is exactly on track with other cycles. Nothing crazy has happened. I mean, in fact, fundamentally, it's a much better spot than we've ever been in. I personally think we haven't pumped enough. I think we're actually going to pump a lot more to even make up for all the bullish fundamental news. And he actually posts here, this one is actually more accurate. Either way, this is nothing really bearish and cataclysmic has happened. People are just a victim to their own psychology and getting upset like they always do every bull market. We see stocks are back in oversold territory and bears are everywhere. You know what that means? Send it. Yeah, I mean, if we take a look very briefly at, for example, the S&P, look at this. We've been dumping since like the beginning of December, really. S&P has not put in a new all-time high for over a month. We're down about 5%, which is really not that much. But yeah, people are just very bearish. And this chart right here just illustrates, maybe people are a little too bearish. We're oversold. People are scared. That's exactly what we need before the market reverses, right? And we also see that this is kind of funny. I personally am not a big, do I think that astrology and cryptocurrency or stocks in any iteration have much to do with the way the stars are aligned? No, I mean, I really don't see any connection. But one funny thing I've noticed over the last few years is that, remember there was that girl, Marin, I believe she used to post on X, and she was like a crypto astrologist, things like that, right? I mean, first of all, people call TA astrology for men anyway, but she was using actual astrology to do TA. So like the pinnacle of pseudo analysis, basically. But what's crazy is that for a very long period, her using astrology was actually more accurate than people using TA, and actually more accurate than anything. Not even just like, it was like slightly better than 50-50. It was actually like pretty good. So I'm not saying I believe in fact, I don't, but I thought this was very interesting. For all the astrological traders and moon enjoyers out there, 2017 and 2021's January found their pico bottoms following the full moon. And as you can see here, 2025, there's a full moon today, or yesterday, sorry. And basically, this person says, I'll never fade the moon again if we go through 3 cycles of it happening. That is crazy. This is one more test. If it happens again, then maybe I will start just like asking people for astrology TA, because it somehow seems to work sometimes. It doesn't. I don't really understand it. But hey, if we're trying to read tea leaves and we're trying to just get the smallest edge we can, let's look at the moon, I guess, right? Let's just see what the moon's telling us. But yeah, as you can see, really on the day, look at this beautiful candle, by the way. Just gobbled up immediately. And what is something what is something you notice over the last couple of months? You see all of these big dumps. Actually, yeah, let me put that back on here. You see all these big dumps, specifically in this area here. Every time we see the lowest portions of this, you see massive wicks, meaning these things are just getting gobbled up. And the pressure is just keeping Bitcoin very elevated here. And I think that says a lot. I think that the buying pressure here is enormous. You can see this is the $90,000 level in white. We just recently, as of today, even just got rejected back off this 50-day moving average. But ultimately, I think we're going to be going up soon. We see potentially a double bottoming even on the daily chart for Bitcoin, and the weekly as well. As I've been saying, we could still easily go down to the 21 week at 80,000 and I would still be ultra bullish. In fact, actually yesterday, I put in another pretty solid amount into Bitcoin. Like I said in my video yesterday, I put half of my USD that I had available into Bitcoin. Well, like 2 hours after I made that video, I put the other half in. So basically all of my available, and people are asking how I get money. Guys, I make money. You know what I mean? Like every time I make USD, whether it's from YouTube, whether it's through, everything that I do to make money, I'm also making money, right? I'm not just not making money. I have a crypto portfolio, but I also have income. So people are asking, how do you have more money? I thought you were already all in. Yeah, that's true. I'm all in right now, but by tomorrow and the next day I'll have more money, and then I have to, I can put that in the market. So, but all I'm saying is I put I don't know, maybe 1 to 2 weeks worth of income into Bitcoin yesterday. And yeah, so I bought the dip with everything that I had available. And in another week, I'm going to have more available and I'm going to buy more Bitcoin, right? And also, can we expect the DXY to start crashing here? We topped out so far at about 110, which would be a beautiful level to top out. Remember, the 2 months before Trump took office last time, the first time, the DXY rallied, and then as soon as he took office, it started dumping. Are we about to see something similar happen here? Are we about to see the DXY start dumping? And that would actually help Bitcoin pump a lot. Because keep in mind, over the past 4 months, the DXY has been pumping, but so has Bitcoin. That's unusual. Bitcoin has shown a lot of strength here. And yeah, I just think, man, I'm so bullish for this right now. I'm so bullish for the next few months. And every time I read a negative comment, and I look at this chart right here, and I put my beautiful big blue rectangle like this. Look at that. It's pretty nice. Every time that I read a negative comment, it actually just makes me more and more bullish. So please leave some bearish comments. Tell me why Bitcoin's going back to 10K. Tell me why Bitcoin is going to 0 and potentially -0. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out my little checkbook and send a check to Brian Armstrong to buy more Bitcoin. I'm just going to keep buying Bitcoin. And get signed up with Femex or BITUNIX below if you want to buy Bitcoin, altcoins, or trade. And without any further ado, it's free.